Good morning on this beautiful no wind. The sun is just rising on the horizons, and I've got a view of my dad-in-law working in the field. It's almost a perfect picture. Almost, because I have to be honest, I got my PSA test back yesterday night, which was a very big surprise because it came in about 7 o'clock, and I had my PSA done not at 7 in the morning as I usually do to get it the same day, and I did not request it for the same day. But it did come back, and it did come back 109.5, which means not only have I lost the right to brag about having kept my PSA below 100 the whole time, but I'm also having a 10% jump, and it's since June where it started climbing. It has climbed a total of 34%. That becomes critical now. As I've mentioned before, I've seen some improvements. I only go to the toilet once, might be tops twice a night, which is fantastic. My water pressure has stabilized better, so it's also good. The last 3 nights though, my HIV value has changed and my water pressure also changed, so it might just be a small fluke in the PSA. If that's the case, then making it less than 100 next time will not be as hard as I'm fearing, but it is a requirement. I have to be honest, yesterday I was really knocked out of balance, because the reason why I took the test a few days earlier than planned was because I started having this what if kind of thoughts coming in my brain, and I didn't like that idea. But now the what if has been consolidated, you could say, because the reality of it is, if I do not have this number under control, considerably under a 100 number by next measurement end of November, then I have to surrender and do ADT. And while I might have money enough to do 1 or 2 shots here in Thailand, then I do not have money enough to do it consistently, because I've just been fired. The whole department I work with in an analytic job has been fired by the 15th of December, which means from that on I don't have any income. So, and even with that income, which was very small, it would have been a problem. So the situation, without having to paint it too grim, is that if it does not go below 100, then maybe 1 or 2 shots here in Thailand, but then I have to return back to Denmark, which is a very cold, very dark, and very expensive place, especially this time of the year. And I have not been in Denmark since 2013, so we're talking 11 years ago. It's not a place that I'm longing to get to. So adding the fact that I do not really have much connection to that country anymore, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. And it's going to be a permanent move, which also means that I will have to leave my wife after 16 years, because being unemployed with no home, and being sick with the need of care, the odds of me to consolidate myself to a degree that the government will accept that I import a girl from Thailand is virtually zero. As it is right now, I know that from Norway, which is a Scandinavian country, a friend of mine, he's now battling the battle, and he is well consolidated both in terms of money and in terms of work, and is a rock solid guy who's been visiting Thailand frequently and but living permanently in Norway. And he's expecting to wait at least a year before his application will come through. So it is very grim prospects if I gotta walk the whole 9 yards on the thought of what's gonna happen if I don't bring this below 100. But as I wrote for somebody as a comment on one of the support groups today, it is under pressure, under extreme pressure, that diamonds are formed. So I have got 2 different ways to go right now, and I have to spend today to figure out what to do, and tomorrow is the 1st of November, so it's a perfect day to initiate its new protocols. What I mean about that is, the changes I've made this month should have shown improvements, and that's why it also knocked me so much out of balance, because I have done a little bit of CD, chlorine dioxide, but a little bit of chlorine dioxide solution initially, and obviously not enough to make a big impact. But I've also got all these other supplements that I thought would really make a difference, including black seed oil 20% and black seed oil 5%, But I also invested in modified citrus pectin. That is a very strong oxidant, and my problem right now is, do I have a way of combining that with a very strong, very strong antioxidants? And the question is, can I combine that with a very strong oxidant, or does it equal itself out? So I have to figure out if I can do that with chlorine dioxide, or if I have to do one or the other. Either way, I have got those two that I can work on. I've got to speed up my research on the chlorine dioxide as well, because the few things I have got of information for now says that it is selective in terms of the microbiome too, as what bacteria it kills and not kills. As it stands right now, really, I shouldn't be all that worried about it. I should probably just punch through and say, okay, I'll give it 1 month and I'll knock it down and I'll see what happens. Because I don't believe I can create so much damage to my microbiome that it's going to have too much of an impact compared to the impact of a rising PSA out of control. But either way, it is modified citrus pectin, or it is going to be chlorine dioxide, or it's going to be a combination of those two. It's going to be the big game changers. And then there's another one that is already decided on, obviously, and that is zero sugar and zero carbs. I've just got my meat grinder, and I found a good place where I can buy grass-fed, good beef. So that's in place right now. And so my plan is doing intermittent fasting with a 4-hour window to eat every day, and then maybe combine that with once a week with a 48-hour fasting. And I mean, that alone should have a very positive impact on my PSA. But if you're combining it with the protocols I have, and if I combine it with the CD chlorine dioxide, I suppose it should be good. Should be good. I'm hoping for it anyway. 109.5 is definitely too much. And as I usually say, it's not really the number itself that I'm too worried about. It is the tendency. And one jump in 1 month at 10% is just way too much. And 34% consecutively total jump is also too much. Anyway, I've got a few days left to work. I've got to enjoy that. A little bit of money coming in, and enjoy my morning coffee. So until next time, stay happy and healthy.